Okay, so I'm probably gonna make this relatively short, and I don't know when I'm going to post this. So I'm not gonna go into detail for obvious reasons, but I just had a moment of weakness, and I think the worst part, singular, about these moments, plural, is because I have built up so much momentum. I've built up so much around making sure that I'm Gucci. And so when I have these moments, which honestly happen very often, but in smaller increments, or increments is that the right word? Smaller doses, I guess, is another way to say that. They happen in smaller doses, they happen in smaller amounts. And so it's not as terrible. And I don't know. Once again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I will say, technically, the thing that I'm doing is not completely destructive. Like, by me doing this, I'm also helping somebody who has been very consistent in helping me, even when they didn't really have it to do so. And I don't know, I guess this is also one of those moments where it's really given me the opportunity to reflect on some like deeper feelings, because in the thing that I'm doing, there's this fear that comes up about like, because it's around money. I'm just gonna say that it's around money, and there's this fear around like me not being able to, and I know this isn't true, I'm just speaking my mind, but me not being able to make the money back that I'm about to share. Once again, I'm trying not to give too many details. I feel like I'm slowly giving away details, but everything's being so loud right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Like I have a decent relationship with money, I'll say. I may not have the best relationship with saving money, but I have a decent relationship with making money, attracting money. You know what I mean? But that being said, I have been saving up for different things, and I've been doing this specifically for the last few months. I think it's been since June or July or something like that. And I've been relatively consistent about that. Hey doggy, there's a doggy right here. Just kind of looking really scared or something. Hi. But like, when I look at the amount, oh my god, and then the fucking dog is barking. Oh my god. When I look at, I'm gonna turn back around. I'm just gonna go back down the street. When I look at the amount that I've made and how much has actually been saved, it is actually kind of ridiculous to me, because I've made quite a bit, and not all of that has gone to savings. You know what I mean? Hello again. Hi. Here's a cute little doggy. Hi. He's gonna start barking, probably, because all the dogs like to bark. But he's actually not barking as much. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of laughable. It's kind of ridiculous to really take stock of how bad I can be with like self-control, you know? Because to be completely transparent, another part of it, another aspect of it that is really important to mention, at least for myself, is that I recognize very fully, very consciously, very, very acutely, that in the place that I'm staying at, in the environment that I've been dwelling, there is a lot of toxic energy. There is a lot of energy that is naturally resistant to the things that I'm working on, if that makes sense. And so that's something I've been kind of like working with and dealing with. And so once again, that's where the fear comes in of like, oh fuck, what if I'm not able to do this again? What if I'm not able to, you know what I mean? And whether or not those thoughts are true, that's what comes up, you know? And I feel like when we have those moments, those really frustrating moments, those are the if I can fucking speak, those are the moments that really show growth and show improvement, you know? And I've said this before to a friend, specifically to the friend that I'm going to help out. We do not get to see how far we've come. We do not get to see the progress we've made. We do not get to see the growth that we have endured in comfortable moments. Like, it's only when things get difficult, it's only when things get rough, when we're able to see what we're truly made of. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about this friend when I say this. I'm just talking in general. But it is really, really, really hard for me to wrap my head around the notion that there are people in the world who get a kick out of seeing other people suffer. Like, it is so difficult for me to wrap my head around. But this is something that I've learned. This is something that I keep coming up to. And sure, we could say that these people only behave that way because they're suffering, they're in pain, they're hurting, whatever. And that's valid, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, there are people in the world who will help you out only for the sake of being able to say that they helped whoever it is that your status is. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a lot of status in the world, like, and okay, I'm gonna talk directly to anybody who is trying to build themselves up in the world, who is trying to make a name for themselves, or whatever, however you want to look at it. Somebody who's trying to make a lot of money, whatever. If you're trying to master any given realm of this world, money, creativity, sex, relationships, whatever, there will be people who give you exactly what you want just so that they can have control over you. And it might not always be a conscious thing. Like, I don't really think that there's too many people walking around rubbing their hands together being like, fuck, I have him in my grips. Ha 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 ha. Like, I don't think that's too common of a thing. I think it's really just people not being aware of their patterns. And because they're not aware of their patterns, it just runs amok, you know? And once again, it's terrifying to think that there are people like this in the world. Like, and I don't know, I started this off by saying that I was in a weak moment, and I guess to some degree, yes, I was. And I don't know, like, it's really frustrating because the logical part of me is like, I've done so much work to get here, and how much work is it going to take me to get to where I'm trying to go? And like, what if I'm not able to get there? What if I'm not able to muster up the energy? I'm already doing so much to protect my energy and to make sure that people don't fuck with me. And like, these are the thoughts that are going through my head when I make the choices that I make. These are the thoughts that go through my head after I make those choices, after I do the things, and I'm just like, I'm doing all this fucking work, and it's just fucking. And one thing about it, I know that I don't know. Honestly, one of my things that I'm still trying to work through, I think I'm almost there, but is giving people the benefit of the doubt. You know, like, I live stream quite often, and occasionally I will encounter somebody where it's very obvious, regardless of what they're saying to me, it's very obvious that the person behind the screen is very malicious. You know what I mean? I had somebody yesterday, they happened to be a 16-year-old, so it was kind of weird when I noticed that they were a teenager, but I noticed a little bit of hostility coming from them, and I chose to mute them because I was just like, what? I'm in a good mood. What are you talking about? They had asked me a question, and I shuffled the cards and I answered the question, and I don't remember what the fuck I said, but I know that I was channeling. And when I'm channeling, it's not fucking me. It's not me. It is other energies. You know what I mean? And so it's not me. So it's like, I can't even really be offended. I can only be offended as the channel, because it's like, I took the energy to get into this space, you know what I mean, to answer your question. And I don't remember what I fucking said. I don't even remember what they asked. But they were like, what are you talking about? You didn't even shuffle the cards right. And I was like, I looked at the screen for a second. I was like, what? Friend, what? And so I muted them, and I was like, okay, much love to you, but we're not doing this. Like, there was a different way, there was a better way to say that. Like, and like, I don't know, I get it. I get both sides. Sometimes we get triggered. Sometimes we get in those energies and we want to just tell somebody off, you know? And one thing I want to say, perfection is not the goal. Like, I joke all the time with myself and with people that I trust that I am perfection. I know that I'm perfection because my heart is gold and I always have good intention. You know what I mean? But perfection is not the goal. Like, what the goal is awareness and just wanting to do better. You know what I mean? And I said this was going to be a short video. This is turning out to not be such short video. Well, maybe by somebody's standards it's short. I don't know. Anyways, also the flip side of the benefit of the doubt, I feel like, because like part of the benefit of the doubt is understanding that sometimes we misinterpret things. Sometimes we don't understand what's going on, you know? And I made it a point at some point, I set the very clear intention. I was like, I want to be able to be a perfect translator. Like, I want to have the ability to just like perfectly understand energy when it comes through, when I'm perceiving it, you know? And part of that journey is being able to also understand what's going on within me. And sometimes that is difficult as fuck. Sometimes I'm feeling something, I'm experiencing something, and I'm like, what the flip? You know what I mean? And that goes for other people too. Sometimes people are experiencing things within their own bodies and they react to those feelings, not really getting a full picture. And sometimes they do things that are not that good for the people around them, and you just kind of have to be like, well. And speaking of not having the full picture, I'm going back to thinking about this thing where I said that I was helping a friend. And I don't know, if I could be completely transparent with you guys, part of the reason why I'm afraid to do that is because I'm gonna be very transparent. If this friend happens to watch this video, I don't know, you chose to watch the video. I didn't ask you to watch the fucking video. Is because I've done all this work on myself. I've done all this inner self-love, as Shaman Derek says, you know, to make sure that I'm in a good space mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And to be quite frank, I know very well that this friend has not done the same work that I have. And like, even me reflecting on this is me doing work. You know what I mean? Like, me reflecting on how I feel about this is me doing work. And like, yes, this friend has helped me out a lot. And that's one of the factors, one of the aspects that I'm using to even be able to do this, because he has helped me out in so many times, so many ways, you know? And what kind of friend would I be if I watched him go through this and didn't really do anything, you know? But once again, to be the transparent person, like, there's a part of me that believes that this friend that I'm talking about is sent here to destroy me. You know what I mean? And whether or not that's true, that's a thought that I have very frequently, that this friend on an energetic level is here to like bring me down, pull me down, and all that stuff. And so to give however much that I'm going to give to him, because I mean, I'm sharing some more details, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm sharing the details. Once again, I've been saving money. I have a GoFundMe to get a car. There's a specific goal of $15,000, and I've never held that much fucking money in my hands before. I've barely even had $1,000 all at once. You know what I mean? I've made a lot of money. I've made a lot of money doing what I do. I have. Like, when I look at the numbers, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But I've never held that much money all at once. And that is my biggest thing. Like, I've not held that much money at once. And there's a part of me, if I had to be super duper honest, like, I'm getting super emotional right now. There's a part of me that doesn't believe that I'm able to make that money because of all of the resistance around me, all of the toxicity around me, all of the bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm really afraid. Like, what if I fucking never fucking achieve my goals? What if I fucking die in the space that I'm in? You know what I mean? Like, what? It's really scary. It's really scary to think about. And I don't know. I know that I'm very thankful. I know that I'm very privileged in different ways. And I have to keep coming back to that. I have to keep coming back to gratitude and all the ways that I am blessed and all the ways that I am, you know, But even still, with all of the fucking resistance and all of the people working against me, it seems, I just don't know. I just don't know. And by the time I post this, hopefully, I don't know. I'll probably be posting this on the second week of September with the way that things are going. I recorded this back in August, just to be transparent, because I'm a fucking Gemini. Sometimes I fucking share too much. That is one of my problems. I share too much. But I don't know. Once again, I've built up so much momentum as to where it's like a double-sided thing. It's like, when I do self-sabotage, it's such a fucking stupidity. It's such a fucking, like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I can afford to self-sabotage because I've been putting so much work in. I've been scheduling posts. Like, basically, at this point, like, by the time this gets posted, I'll probably be in, like, February in regards to, like, the posts that I'm doing, because I've been scheduling posts for Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon if you don't already follow, if you don't already subscribe or whatever. Should be in the description. But yeah, I've been putting in so much work. And it's just, like, frustrating that there's so many energies working against me, not wanting the best for me. And it's like, and it sucks even worse because some of those energies are people that are supposed to be there for me. You know what I mean? Once again, not trying to share too many fucking details, because part of me be fucking scared that the people I'm talking about be watching me. You know what I mean? And if you are, shame on you. Shame on you, because I ain't never did shit to you. You know? I mean, when I think about it more, when I think about it logically, it's like, how quickly would it take for me to completely ruin all of the things that I've been doing? You know what I mean? Like, it would take a lot. Like, it would take a lot for me to completely ruin everything that I've been working towards. But even still, because I feel like my overall goals are so far away. Like, I remember a couple weeks ago, I was like just thinking about it. I was like, I'm so far away from the overall goal. Like, what if I never fucking get there? And like, I'm only saying that because that is a truth that keeps coming up for me. That is not a truth. I don't mean to say it like that, but that is something that keeps coming up in my head. And if I don't be honest about it, then I'm just suppressing it. And I don't think that's healthy at all. So here I am alchemizing. Also, the wind is winding right now. I don't know how this is going to resonate for you. I don't know if it'll resonate. I don't know if anybody will ever watch this. But if you are watching this, if you have been with me for any amount of time, I do thank you. I do appreciate you, your support. Even if it's silent support, I appreciate it, you know. And for the haters out there, I fucking hate your guts. I do appreciate all of the energy that is given to me, because all of it helps me to grow. All of it helps me to, you know, so thank you. And remember to hydrate. Remember to drink some water. Take care of yourself, please. Know that no storm lasts forever. And miracles do happen all the time. Now, if only I could find a miracle. You know, one thing, before I end this, one thing I've been trying to manifest is to randomly find a chunk of money in a graveyard. And I have been to several graveyards, and I still have not found that. Anyways, end transmission. Have a good one. Bye.